Welcome back to the channel, Hobby-Wan Kenobi here. It's time to continue the Mi-24 Hind gunship by ZVEZDA. With the model primed, I applied a sand color I mixed with Tamiya paints. Next I airbrushed a brown camo color. I neglected to get video of this process, but I used Elmer's tack and stick to create the sharper edges of the camo. The brown color is again a mixture of Tamiya paints. A word about the camo. I wanted to represent a helicopter involved in the Russian-Afghan War in the 1980s. I also wanted to do a sand and brown version of the Mi-24. After doing much research and scouring my 5 books on this vehicle, I came up with only a few black and white photos of it. I took a best guess as to the actual shades of these colors, and I am happy with the end result. Next, I used Tamiya tape and 3x5 cards to mask the lower portion of the light gray color on the underside. Removing the masking is always a highlight of model building. I love seeing how the paint turned out, and if I achieved an even line. Masking was removed from the body and the wings, which I left off until later in the build. The model then received coats of Mission Models gloss in preparation for the decals and later for the oil wash. The ZVEZDA decals laid down nicely and I was able to avoid any silvering. In the process of adding decals, I realized that the yellow triangles found at the tip of the tail would not actually perform well, so I opted to mask and airbrush the yellow. I would also need to mask and airbrush the distinctive arrows. Unfortunately, as I was removing the tape, I managed to place a piece directly onto one of the text decals, which says dangerous in Russian. Luckily, the ZVEZDA decals provided 2 versions of these warning signs, albeit in different fonts. Once the decals were dry, I airbrushed more gloss directly over the decals to protect them during the oil wash process. The oil wash was achieved using Winsor & Newton black and white, mixed to create a very dark gray. Turpenoid was used to thin the material, and I applied it liberally around all seams and crevices. After it dried, the excess wash was removed with Q-tips and a soft brush. Rather than start removing oil wash from the seams directly, I like to remove the material from the center of each panel, then work my way out. This way, the wash closest to the edges can be manipulated with more care. After the wash was removed, a flat coat was applied. Next, I removed the liquid mask from the wing joints and glued the wings into their proper areas. Touch-ups were done at the joints by again using Elmer's tack and stick putty and airbrushing very lightly. Well, that does it for this video. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.